Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Charles back for part two for the elements that you need to have, the key elements that you need to have to keep building your brand, right? These are not ranked in order, but these are things I think that are very, very, very important. And I just want to have this series to help people understand that brand building is not a one-dimensional, one-time logo, one-time graphic, one-time color scale, all those different things that have to do with visuals. That's not what that is. Brand is built during doing the work. Brand is built over time. Brand can evolve and increase all the time. There is never a place where the brand is solid and it can stay where it is and it's hit its ceiling. A brand has an infinite timeline that goes along with it. So I want to make sure that you get some key elements to make sure that in this game, in this world that we're in now, the digital world, and just in the business or in the professional realm that you are right now, how can you continue to build your brand as a person, as a professional, but also build your brand as a business or as an organization as well. So part two is focus on bringing as much value as possible. Value bringing is way more important than you putting out, and giving the value is way more important than what you're going to receive back. The difference between a lot of people who were doing businesses and started businesses in the pandemic, from my perspective, is that they were not bringing as much value as they could have. A lot of the reasons why I'm still in my business right now, when I started during the pandemic, is because I did bring a lot of value while that was going on. And the bad thing that happened with me was I stopped bringing that value because of the clientele, because of all the other excuses that I could make up for why I was not bringing as much value as I could have before. And my brand did not stop being built on in person and through other people that I worked with. However, my brand stopped increasing on social media because of that. And I've just, not just recently, and I've always known that, but I really understand that now, because the brand building is not a just, one and done type situation. It's always an ongoing thing. So I want to tell you some things that I did wrong, but also tell you the things that I know I'm going to be doing right and I should have continued to do, and things that I was doing wrong, or things I should have been better at in general. So that's why I bring, the first thing is continue to focus on bringing value. Bringing value to someone is going to help you win no matter what. There is no way to replace, for an example, if I were to do an event for someone and I did I gave them a media package for photos and videos for a fundraising event, the first fundraising event for a nonprofit that just opened. Say I did that event for free. Those pictures and videos are bringing them way more value than any amount of money that they can pay me. Even if they had the budget to pay me more than what I even charge them, the pictures and videos bring more value because now they have a foundation and proof of what they can show and say that, hey, we actually are doing things in the community. We actually are trying to build money. We're trying to do things to bring the word and spread the word of the good things that you're doing as a nonprofit. For the value that you bring for a for-profit business, if you're selling a product, hey, you need to make sure that you are knowing what the customers want. Know what the customers want. Know what they want, know what they're looking for, know what's lacking. And of course, a lot of things when it comes to, especially like fashion or apparel, depending on what it is, it's very subjective, and there's a lot of trends and there's a lot of things that change over time. Absolutely, positively. However, that's a part of you knowing and bringing value on a regular basis, because in order for you to bring value, the only person you're bringing value to are the people that you're selling to, are your customers. So you need to make sure that you're bringing as much value to your customers on a regular basis, which means you have to evolve and move with your customers. You have to look ahead and what's going to happen. You have to look ahead and say, okay, these things are coming up. The election is coming up. How are trends going to change? The holidays are coming up every single year. How are trends going to change? The holidays are over now and it's the summer. What are the different things that people are looking for now? So understand and know your customer, and know who you're trying to bring value to, so that you can bring more value to them. And also, especially for service-based businesses like me, I provide a service media company. I provide consulting services as well. I can't go in talking about the same things that happened in 2020 that are not happening now. And yes, TikTok was very alive and well in 2020, but nobody actually knew how it was going to go. Now that we do know, and now we know where TikTok possibly could be going, or a lot of other platforms that are opening up could be going, there's a conversation that has to be had from me that has to make sure that I'm giving you all as much value as possible based off of what I know that you want, the research that I've done, the things that I've looked for, how I work with clients, and what they struggle with a lot of times. I also do business development, so not even just on the external part of promoting and pushing yourself out to the public to bring them in, but also the functionality and systems that are wrong in a lot of places. There are a lot of nonprofits, there are a lot of churches, there are a lot of businesses for profit that have bad systems. You have to make sure that those things are connected, because that's a part of building brand as well. And the easiest and the most common example that people use all the time is, of course, Amazon. Amazon has built the brand that they have because they consistently came through on the thing that they said they were going to do. If you order something from Amazon, it might come that day or the next day or in 2 days. But a lot of times if you order something from another company, it might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even if it might not even come. But you know and can depend on that Amazon is going to bring it to you on a regular basis, and they will tell you before you even know that it hasn't came, that your product has not, the thing that you ordered has not come to your house. So customer service, but that's a part of brand building as well. The full scale of brand is the service that you provide and making sure that you're bringing as much value with that service or with that product. And I want to make sure that the other part of that is the more value that you bring, the more reach that you'll end up getting, because now you're having things circulate in the marketplace now, right? So it's not just you're having a conversation or bringing value to one person. You're bringing value to that one person so much that they're willing to tell somebody else, and they need to tap in as well. And that is my next part that I want to say, that the more reach you have, the better. The more value that you bring is going to increase the reach that you have, because people will talk. And also with that and building the brand, the more reach you have, the better. And a lot of people know that. The more people you know, the more more people that you can reach, the more customers that you can have, the more money that you can make, all the above. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that do not focus on the money right away. Do not focus on the money right away. Stay in the lane of bringing value right now, okay? So with you having more reach, that cannot happen, and you cannot just continue to try to go to people, random people on the street, and just bring them value on the thing that you do. So for example, for me, yes, I'm a business consultant. If I were to go to the mall right now and talk to every single person, every single manager, or every single person that's at the mall and every store, and tell them how I can bring value to them, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. However, the other part of that is posting on social media, and posting the content and bringing the value on social media is way more important. And both of them are important, don't get me wrong, but I can do more damage on social media than I can in person. And the more I post on social media, the better, because a lot of platforms and a lot of different the way that social media is evolving, and just how people are evolving in general. And you can understand, y'all, this is a people's game. This is not just a platform or a trend or a TikTok or a views game. This is a people game. And you got to understand that if you actually want to run a successful brand or a successful business, or want to increase your personal brand as a professional as well, you got to make sure that you are posting and consistently being who you are on all levels. So I'm not saying do not do what I just suggested about being in person and going to talk to people, telling people who you are, tell them how you can bring value to them. Absolutely, positively do that. However, it's not or do this, it's and be on social media. I know a lot of times people always talk about, okay, so what's the right strategy? This is the biggest question that I get all the time, honestly, y'all. And I even myself had to go in and really check in myself as a marketer for even the content that I do. I had to check in and be like, I've made at least 50 to 100 different social media plans for me as a personal brand. And I had to really break it down and really have it dawn. And it dawned on me just recently, actually. And no matter how many strategies that I give anybody, or how many strategies that I give myself, I can't lose if I post every single day on every platform that I have. Every single day on every platform that I have. I'm giving you the blueprint right now. The way that you increase following, the way that you increase brand, the way that you can bring as much value as possible to the people that you are trying to reach is by posting every single day, Sunday to Sunday, on every single platform that you have. End of discussion. Point blank period. Yes, there's context as far as, okay, yeah, if you're going to post on YouTube, the thumbnail, and you need to change the caption a little bit, this and that. Okay, cool. Yes, absolutely. But not even going that deep into it, at its basic level, in order for you to increase the brand at the highest level, the more you post, the better. If you post every day of the year, at least one time a day, that's 365 posts that you've made in a year. On every platform, people have seen you 365 times. At least one time they've seen you 365 times. Somebody has seen you then. Okay? Now, if we're going to do the math, whatever 365 is times 7. Matter of fact, let's do it now. 365. Okay. So we got 365 times 7. 365 days in a year times 7 platforms that you post on. That's 2,555 times that you've posted in 1 year. Now, that's a lot of times to post. But out of those 2,555, you have reached that many people. Say every platform has 1,000, and you reach 1,000 people on each platform. Or let's just say you reach 100 people. Let's just say 100. Let's not even say 100. Let's just say 50. 50 people on each platform. Every time you post, you reach 50 people. Okay? 2,555 times 50. That's at least 127,750 people that you've reached. Now, out of that, let's just say, for sake of conversation, let's just say on a great year, you reach 10% of those people. That's just 1 year now. 10% of those people you reach and they bought something from you, or you work with them, or they pay for something that had to do with your business. So that's times 0.1. So that's 2,775. That's 12,000. That's 12,775 people that have either bought something from you, tried to work with you, or has paid, like they've interacted with your business or your brand, or interacted with you directly just off of that. That's 12,000 people in 1 year. You can't beat that. So when it comes to numbers, it all makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong. That's give or take. You see what I'm saying? So that could be as low as 5,000. That could be as low as 1,000. That could be as high. That could be higher than. That could be the whole 200,000 people. Absolutely that year. But the concept and what I'm trying to get everybody to understand is the more you post, the more reach you will have. It's proven. Look at a lot of the people who are very successful right now. All of them have at least 1,000 to 1,500 plus posts. At least that much. A lot of times y'all post stuff and delete it, which is not a bad thing, but that does not align with what you're trying to do. If you're trying to bring more value and bring more reach, every post is not going to go viral. Every post is not going to do that. You need to make sure that you're in line with what you're trying to do and making sure that you are bringing value on a regular basis, regardless of the views, regardless of how many people you do or don't reach, regardless of how many people do or don't reach out, and make sure that you're growing in what you're doing in general to make the best content, to bring the most value, to have the most knowledge in the game that you're in. So those are the very important things that you have to do. The second thing that I talked about, of course, was networking. Make sure that you go to networking events and really network. Have your pitch together, understand why you are there, understand who you are looking for, understand the things that you want to learn, or the things or the people you want to meet. And yes, it's going to be weird when you first do it. Yes, you are going to mess up. Yes, you're going to stutter. Yes, you're not going to say the right thing the first time. But you got to continuously work on those things and keep doing it and get more comfortable with it. As you do that, opportunities will come. The more you do, the better. And take advantage of every opportunity. Try to take advantage of every opportunity too, which is why in my first video I talked about knowing who you are and knowing where you are as well. You have to be self-aware of where you are. If you can take more clients, if you need to just learn right now, if you need to just work with what you have right now, but also work on you even more right now. And that was the thing that I know I realized that I needed to work on me more, but I stopped doing that. I just kept focusing on the clients and trying to make them as better and make them better, that I neglected myself when it comes to posting, or when it came to networking, or trying to find people and work with people and things like that. The work of you building the brand for you and your business is always ongoing. It never ends. And that's something that that's something that you can understand now as I'm telling you, rather than going through it as well. And also the last thing is collaborating. I've collaborated with plenty of other people that do what I do. I've collaborated with photographers, videographers, graphic designers, website developers, website designers. I've even collaborated with other consultants, other marketing people, and for some of my biggest clients. And I knew a lot of those people were better than me at what I did, which is why I called them in the first place. And a lot of times people don't want to collaborate because they feel like that person is a threat. Absolutely, there's competition, and if y'all doing the same thing in the same area, yes, there is competition. Yes, they could be a threat. Yes, there very much is the chance and the risk that, okay, I like this person's stuff better than I like yours, so I'm not booking you next year for the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and book them. Understand something, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. The reason that you're doing what you're doing is to bring the most value that you can bring, period. If they're bringing another level of value that a client wants, or if somebody goes to somebody else because they like what they have, that doesn't mean that you aren't bringing value or doing your best. Now, the only way people will know that, only person who would really truly know that is you. The only person who would truly know that you weren't bringing as much value as you could is you. And yes, people can see potential in you, and you can do better, and you can grow, absolutely. But you know in your heart of hearts that if you put everything on the table, if you laid everything on the table, if you left everything on the field, and those are the things that you have to learn through doing business, through trying to bring value, through seeing different things, but understand that every part of the process matters, and don't think that just because you've reached a certain level that it's not there. And building a brand has nothing to do with the number of followers that you have on social media. It has to do with all of the value that you bring. Because there's a lot of people on social media that have a lot of followers, but they're not bringing any value. They're not. Just because you take great photos and you pose a certain way doesn't mean you're bringing value to me. Now, if you have a caption that shows me where I can find those clothes, how I should wear those clothes, how I can find discounts on those clothes, absolutely. If you have videos that you talked about how to tie a tie, if you have videos to talk about how to fold your clothes, if you have videos to talk about how to have a fundraising event when it comes to a nonprofit, when you're making videos or content that are going to directly align with bringing value to the people that you're looking for, that's you building a brand. And there's a lot of times when I go out places and people are like, hey, you're Charles, you're that guy from Instagram. I was like, yeah, man, I used to watch your lives all the time during the pandemic, and you really helped me start my business. I've been full-time in my business for the last 3 years from the things that you said. And it hurt my heart when they said that. I was happy, absolutely. I was happy, I was grateful. I was like, okay, cool, but it hurt my heart because I stopped. And I just imagine, okay, from 2020 to now, if I had kept going, how many more people would have said that to me? How much stuff did I leave on the table, and how many more people could I have brought value to and helped? That conversation right there is way more important, because in that same business that person started, now they can call me to do their business. They can call me to help them with their business and to grow their business on another level. But they probably wouldn't even do that because they haven't seen me post the type of things that I did before. So just make sure that you're always posting. Make sure that you're networking, you're posting, you're networking, and you are collaborating with other people. All right, that's your 2025 list. Bring more value, number one. Make sure that you're bringing more value. Number one, making sure you're bringing more value. Number two, make sure that you are posting more on social media. Make sure you are networking, and make sure you are collaborating. Those are your 4 pieces of homework for next year and for the rest of your life. Make sure that you find that. And also, don't be discouraged because you aren't posting every single day. Don't overthink it. Do what you can, do the best that you can. But understand too, the reason why you might not be getting the results that you want is because you aren't posting every day. And when you are posting every day, don't just post every day just to post. You need to make sure that you're posting and bringing value, but also a post does help. And don't be one-sided. Just because I do business alone doesn't mean I can't do fashion content. Doesn't mean I can't do lifestyle content. Doesn't mean I can't do a vlog. There's way more sides to me than just that. And that's something that I had to figure out. That's a pill that I had to swallow because I wanted to be one-sided. But now that I've learned and I've done so much and I've seen the things that I've pushed off and the things that did not work for me and the things that could have worked for me even more that I was trying to push off, now I'm understanding I left a lot on the table. So I just want to make sure that y'all have those 4 things are going to really help you because they've helped me in a lot of ways. And I hope you got something from this. I hope I brought you some value from what I just said. And I have a lot of other different parts to this conversation. So I'll catch y'all next time on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.